Welcome to Dr. Dookie's live Dookie stream with Marvel Strike Force playing on stage 10 with Blue Stacks on my PC. We're going to start with a quick arena battle to see where my arena team is. Your host here, Dr. Dookie. So, right now I'm generally able to maintain easily between 50 to 100, every now and then slipping above 50, which is really where you want to be. I have to be a little sneaky though to get there, and usually do it close to the timer, which I'm not going to strive for today necessarily. I want to get one quick arena battle out of the way so that I'm not a liar. We're going to jump to the Blitz very soon. So here's a younger Phoenix team. Let's see what happens. So my Colossus, oh yeah, just today I think is that what I decided to do? Just today I got Colossus up to 6665. I already had the orange point in them. I've been really short on T3 ability mats. We've been getting them, but I've been spending them just as quick as they've been coming in. It's like a hungry man waiting for the flapjacks to return to the table so that he can eat them up and request another serving. I have, whenever the block party comes around, I have a team for that. Alright, let's go. We have a timer. So because of that, we're going to do 3x. My new setup allows you to see everything that I'm doing, although the ultimate ability gets cut off a little bit, unfortunately. I do believe we want to start with that. Okay. Let's see. Who do we want to stun? Probably Colossus. Oh, he resisted that. Bad move. Okay. Let's try to blind Phoenix. Good, good. Let's try to clear Colossus before he... Oh! So far, this is not going well. We're in good humors today. Dr. Dookie is not going to throw a fit. No Dookie tantrums today. I could have swung at her. I'm not trying to kill her right now. Inevitably, Phoenix will die, either mine or hers. Hopefully mine first, but Mega heal. Oh, I was hoping that went to Juggernaut. I was not paying close enough attention. So that's not going to be too well. We'll do that one. Okay. Alright, we have a swarm to target. Nope. JK, JK. Probably didn't need to do that yet. I'm playing kind of sloppy. I didn't anticipate winning against a nearly 200k X-Men team with Phoenix. My X-Men team's not nearly this level. I'd like to put them in to Arena, but they're just not there. I think they're only at like 130 or something. And that's because I had an Ancient Wolverine at like 30k and an Ancient Storm that I never really touched that was at 20k. Now I have an excuse to do that. Okay. Looks like we got some assists there. Took out their Storm. Big heal on Juggernaut. Alright, we're still stuck on Colossus. Ooh, that's going to be good for Dark Phoenix. Big damage from my 7th Red Star Star-Lord there, and Colossus goes down. Big damage from Dark Phoenix. Boom! Boom! Unfortunately, and I apologize for the bad sound quality that resulted in that excitement. Yeah, that was great. That was fantastic. So I wasn't even trying to win. So this team here, maybe this is a really... I don't know. I'm not claiming that this is an anti-Phoenix X-Men team. I think it's just that my Star-Lord and Juggernaut they have a bunch of red stars. So those are my highest red star players. Juggernaut has 6 red stars, 7 gold. Star-Lord has 7 red stars sitting on top of 7 gold stars, so I'm proud of them. Those are my boys. Sneaking Nick Fury in there for all of his offense buffs, the speed up and the offense up. Oh yeah, we're doing Blitz. Yeah, we're in the middle of a war right now. We're gonna lose. Jinx. I've already spent all my best teams, and yeah, we're coming up pretty short. They have 3 teams left on the bridge with 300 power apiece. That's, yeah, we didn't ration anything for that. So I went ahead and cheekily did the first 2 milestones when I was passing out last night with a terrible thrown back. Dr. Dookie's enemies struck at him again, and he wasn't down for the count. He is up again, on his feet, so to speak. So what I like to do usually in the Blitz is showcase where my stuff is at, starting with the most pathetic. So I don't have a Mysterio or Vulture yet, working on it. We'll get to these guys, even more pathetic than that team. But I do have a Rhino. What else do I have? You know what? I never get to play with these folks. Where's that other guy? Shocker guy? Shocker guy. This is a terribly unbalanced team. I'm just throwing it together because I don't think I'm going to use these guys and lady other than this. So let's pick an easy team for them to take out. Oh, avoiding the Punisher. So during this awkward loading time, I will address a few issues here and there. One on the tip of my tongue is Fox Next. Every other war-based game that I know of, not to pick on anything, but Clash of Clans comes to mind. The Star Wars one. You get, when you attack your army, aka the 5-member teams that we have, but you also have a regenerating hero that you can use multiple times during the attacks. It has a timer, so you can't use it with every attack, maybe. But if you're careful, maybe you can use, depending on the game, maybe you can use both of your attacks if memory serves, if you space it out right. Or maybe you have to pay for a revive or whatever. But learn from this. I would love to have a 6th character only in the war mode. That would spice it up a little bit. And have this be a character, I don't know how you earn them. Maybe you can only purchase them through the war store, but you seem to do silly stuff like I'll only be able to get it through the arena store or whatever. That's fine, however you want to do it. But I would probably even have it be War Alliance experience. So the War Alliance all has the same level of this character, so we collectively level him up or her up. And it would be, you know, it would be something on par with Legendary, but it would be to give you an edge more than to make you dominate. So it would just be to help you get through a really hard node. And then, you know, you can compensate with that by the fact that maybe there'll be more defensive buffs to counter that. Just food for thought. Anyhow, because people are listening. Okay. So we want to start with Mystique's ultimate almost every time, I think. We're going to deploy Shocker's special, powering up Rhino and Shocker with an offense up. Here is, that was Sabretooth's ultimate. And we're about to use just the basic here. We have nothing to clear that I'm worried about right now. Alright. With the offense up, we were able to take up their crossbones unscathed. I do not have Rhino or Shocker geared up or ability matted up, so they're kind of funny right now. They're kind of on the basic side. They're still fun to play. They're still fun to look at. I really like the idea of rounding out a Sinister Six team. No pun intended, because these are 5-member teams here. Oh, that would be a really good one. So how about this? How about Doc Ock? Doc Ock would be in the would be a War Alliance character, like something above legendary, kind of beyond legendary, and then he'd synergize the best with your 5 other members of Sinister Six, right? All right, so we have 3 milestones under our belt now. You know, kind of. I'm not saying it is, and maybe it's just Dr. Dookie's dirty mind, but you know, they do a lot of innuendo in this game. Like, why are her 2 fingers out like that? Like, I'm thinking of Meet the Parents, or is it the sequel? I think you get what I'm trying to say. And if you don't, then it is just me. Mystique and Shocker. Wait, let's go back to that. Do you see that? Mystique and Shocker, they shop at the same store. They both roll over to TJ Maxx or Macy's or whatever it is, but same fabric pattern. So August 15th, that's the day. Mark it on your calendars. That's when Magneto comes back to town. And that's when I'm going to walk into the Magneto store and pick up a 6 gold star Magneto and walk right out and be very happy. I'm going to build Magneto up probably right to, Gear Tier 10, where he'll probably just stay there forever, because that team is really it's a hard counter. It's a hard counter to shield. If I'm not mistaken, originally that's what it's for. And that is nice to have hard counters in your pocket for the Alliance War. The more the merrier. In the mindset of infomercials, the days of yore, set it and forget it. So here's my terrible, terrible, terrible power armor team. And my excuse for why they're so low, number 1, I told myself, don't revisit them until Rescue's farmable, because I only have 3 gold stars on her. And number 2 was, you need to prioritize to get this Phoenix, and that took up 24 days of gameplay, of doing nothing else. The other thing is, I was sold on the whole Wakanda thing, and although they are a very good team, in hindsight, I have a Swiss Army Shield Nick Fury team, I have a Mantis Guardians team, and I have a Punisher's Defender team. All of those are good sustaining raid teams. So why do I also have a 4th raid team? Well, I had a different theory. I wasn't sold on the idea that they'd be Ultimate 7 Smasher team, because I have a reason for that. I have an alternate theory as for why that's the case, and we'll get back to that in a second. Number 1, though, I thought there'd be more Alphabet Soup raids where there'd be Wakanda-only lanes, and I'd be like, haha, this is my time to shine, Dr. Dookie's time to shine in our alliance. Dr. Dookie, you saved us, But no, that's not necessarily what we're seeing. So their ability materials are all out of whack on this team. Completely out of whack. So Rescue's not going to go when she should go. Ability block on Loki, that's Vision special. Iron Man special. And War Machine special. So I think I just have enough power that I'm going to do... I'm just going to stop these teams because of that. Some basics to slow down. The slowdown on the basic is great. There were a lot of complaints about Rescue when she came out, and I think most of those were basically on her not having her energy when she needed it, and I think that's been fixed. that was fixed shortly after her release. And yeah, people have noted that, oh, she doesn't need a lot of health. She doesn't need to do any damage. Oh, not good. Technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if I can fix some of this. Okay. I just want to make sure that this stuff is actually is resetting. Okay. There we go. Alright, well that is loading. Oh, and that's a bummer. So I guess I lost that match. We'll see in a second where we are. So let me go into Wakanda Conspiracy Land. Tinfoil hat time. So this is extrapolating. Whenever you whenever you extrapolate, that means you have data over here and everywhere in between, but you don't necessarily know what the picture looks like over here, and you don't necessarily know what the picture looks like over here. And it's the outside of this gap that you're filling in with your extrapolation. So interpolation would be, I have good data here and here, and I'm trying to guess what happened in between. That's much more sound. Well, maybe this is why I crashed, because it was updating me through BlueStacks. But I'm speculating, I don't know. So let me quickly pick up my rewards, because Dr. Dookie gets very excited when he gets some guaranteed gold. I'm so short on this. This is the commodity of the game. You know, I go back and forth on this. Did they do gold right or wrong? Because many other games, the basic commodity just piles up, and eventually it's useless, and no one even uses it for trade. Like, you can't ever buy something from another player using gold. Now, one way to handle that is you can't buy anything from any other player in this game. There's no trade system whatsoever. I don't think the way they have it set up, I don't think a trade system is really necessary, but a buyback system would be great. I have a bunch of materials that I'll never use, probably, most likely. Okay. Getting some orange mats. I didn't really need this stuff. Maybe down the road it'll eventually get used. I didn't get the ones I needed, is what I'm trying to say. There are ones that I do need. Those are not the ones that I got. Okay, let's go back to Blitz. This probably was a fluke. But anyhow, they didn't count as loss. That's great. So my extrapolation for Wakanda. So I have two theories, theory A and B, and these theories are independent of each other, so they have a probability that they could simultaneously exist. So that's the nice part of it. So neither one supports the other. That's the downside of these tin hat theories. So anyhow, let's pick a not so difficult team to take out with my not so good Avengers. So here goes. Tier 7 abilities and the Tier 5 passive on the Wakanda team. Where it's at right now does not make the Wakanda team the best, and that's because they're going to roll out Tier 8 abilities and Tier 6 passives very soon. So what evidence do I have for this? They are going to increase the level cap to 75, and that's commensurate with such changes. And in the past, they've introduced the basic and the passive abilities first. At this point, and during this time interval, I'm going to guess that the passives are going to turn that team into the best raid team. I'm going to guess that someone is going to get a resurrection passive. My best guess would, of course, be Shuri. It's possible that she gets a resurrection in her ultimate. It's also possible that she gets an additional heal if you're a Wakanda character, perhaps an additional clear for all Wakanda characters. I'm just speculating. This isn't, I'm not trying to make a laundry list of things, of wish list things. I'm trying to picture around the edges what they might do with, oh yeah, that's right, not an ultimate. These are just passives and basics. So it might be that Okoye's basic might yet again get even more focus. We might get a 100% increase in focus, or a 75. It might be that Shuri gets one extra heal for Wakandan, or one extra cleanse for Wakandan, or she might get a cleanse all. Oh right, jeez. I'm having trouble focusing on my battle and my extrapolation. So let me auto this battle. I think we're good by now. As soon as crossbones goes down, we are, yeah. So before I repeat myself one more time and go on the wrong vein, Shuri's passive could be the resurrect. Shuri's basic could throw out a regeneration to all Wakandans, so that's an option. Killmonger's passive might resurrect on kill. That's another possibility. We're really missing that. If you look at the meta, it's Minerva and her resurrection, her mighty resurrection that really makes her the best healer in the game right now. And then second to that, in a distant second, if you're using shield as a team, you have the shield healer that can resurrect at a very low probability, 40% or something like that. I don't know off the top of my head right now. And you compare that to, I don't know, Scientist Supreme, who has a very low probability of a passive heal. So maybe you give Shuri a probabilistic passive heal in a raid that probably solves most problems, but then you still have that probability of having to just pay to resurrect that one character. So what else could they do in that vein? M'Baku, he's Mystic. They could give him a resurrect. Okay, that would tie into the movie actually rather nicely. Didn't they bring back Black Panther in M'Baku's land from the verge of death or whatever? Or maybe he actually was dead and they brought him back. They kind of imply that. At any rate, one of the characters, in my estimation, should have a resurrect, and one of the characters, maybe even M'Baku, would have a passive cleanse. That seems to be the biggest two problems. The other problem reported is Okoye does not effectively remove buffs, even with the orange mat in her basic. I don't have enough gold stars in my Okoye to really chime in on that, because right now I do have the orange mat in her basic, and yeah, sometimes she gets resisted, but that is the game. You're not supposed to always be able to, you know, there's supposed to be probability and stuff in here. So anyhow, very confident that I can auto with my Brawlers team. It's fun to just kind of watch them anyhow. My Captain Marvel's not that strong, and none of the characters in this are that strong. Deadpool's a little bit higher than the group, but he's even kind of neglected. He's level 61, I believe, and he's maybe gear tier 10, 9 or 10. Apparently you can't gear tier 13 him right now because the unique materials are not, are not in the game. Pardon me. So that's unfortunate. So here's the dirty little secret about the Hero Brawler team. If you're at or slightly above a team in power, you should be able to take it out with the Hero Brawler team, with maybe a few exceptions here and there. Like, Brotherhood. Brotherhood, let me see. Blinding everyone, bunching them together, and ramming a bunch of glass cannons with Juggernaut. That's a tricky one. But it's an alternative gameplay mode for characters that have their teams built up. Because once you get at or above the level of a team, generally speaking, the Brawler team will be able to take them out. So it's a universal stomp fest once the Brawler team is significantly high in level. And you go, well, isn't that true for any team? Well, no, it's not. Defenders, you can max out the defenders gear tier 14, give them a bunch of red, or 13, give them a bunch of red stars, and they're just not going to quite, going to be there. So we do not want Punisher. This seems okay. We have 2 minions, so that's alright. We'll lose. Okay, so back to the Wakandans. So whatever they're going to do, I think the level 8 basic ability and the level 6 passives for the Wakandans will suddenly make them shine by adding some unique elements there. And then, and you can just speculate on that. There's many different versions of that, okay? Maybe Shuri will give 2 speed ups to everybody, or whatever your favorite theory is. Whatever. That's where I think they'll shine. And then when we see that, we're going to be hungry for their special and ultimates to be tweaked. But that will be when they bump it up to gear 80, okay? And that's how they trick us. We don't want the level 75 cap, but we will want the level 80 cap. That is how it is. So, okay, let's slow down. It's good measure to give Luke Cage a slowdown. Alright. So, I really think that this Korath and Cyborg combination are underrated. So, he has the ability to throw out a taunt, which gives this combination offense up. So because we have offense up, I'm going to use his ultimate. I'll do that on Hulk. Didn't get the ability block. That's okay. Oh, they caught it. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. It didn't proc anyway. Okay. So it doesn't always proc, but 75% of the time, or so it says, you get the offense up, which on the Cyborg, it's a triple offense up, and on the Korath the Pursuer, I think it's 2, 1 or 2. Either way, it's a good deal. So I only have this, I think, at level 5, so I needed to do Kingpin special before his ultimate, so that I'd get the offense up at the right time. Because what is Crossbones without an offense up and a defense up? Not much. And did I not have the defense up on him? Oh well. Boom. Whoa, Kingpin took out somebody. Must have had really low health. Okay. So here's theory. So that's theory A, that level 75 is going to make them awesome. So, and commensurate with level 75, they're going to unlock starting to add items to gear tier 14. You can probably be able to add 3 or 4, or maybe even all but the last in some cases or all cases or whatever that may be. So that'll, add a little bit more damage, a little bit more health. But that's everybody. So what is option B? Option B is that there's a secret Wakandan. There's a Wakandan that they have not released into the game. Maybe they were hoping that this Wakanda team would be more popular and they would have released him by now. But let me see if I can bring up some information on my favorite theory. And I am thinking of... Picture internet. Okay. This will do. This will do, internet. So here we go. Nakia, I guess. So she is is that stage left? Well, whatever. She's in this picture. She's to the left of Shuri right now. Shuri's sporting those sweet vibranium gauntlets that she has in the movie. At the end of goodness, Infinity War, and then again at the end of Endgame. Spoiler alert. Oh, wait, that was too late. So, so here's my theory. Killmonger is not really on the Wakandans team. He's a space filler. And theory B is that Nakia originally, and maybe still intended for the future release, is either the A, real healer on the team, or B, the real cleanser on the team. She's going to fill in one of those spots. And she might do some other badassery. Like those throwing discs. Maybe those will stun somebody. Because they're also missing a little bit of control, I think. Maybe she'll even summon some guards or something, because they don't have a summoner either. So that would be great. And, you know, it's all, you can mix and match these theories. They could make her be the Wakandans' Doc Ock for an Alliance hero, and then you'd have a 6-member Team Wakandan team for Alliance War, but they're a raid team, so I don't, that's not really my guess. But the War Dogs, I think, would be probably better for that role, and I think we're going to see more, even if I'm wrong about having a war hero, or war beyond legendary, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, well anyway, back to gameplay. This is who's missing. So whether or not she'd be the real healer and do a heal all, a real cleanser and do a cleanse all, or the real or the only resurrector, or summoner. Oh, imagine that. She could be a summoner that summons characters that proc resurrect. Whatever. They're missing the resurrect. They're missing the cleanse all, and they're missing you know, just a few things around the edges. So that's what I want to see right next to Shuri. Make it happen, Fox Next. Have that be your character for the Blu-ray release of Endgame. I'd be very happy. And if I don't see, you know, if I don't see these tweaks come up for Wakanda, I'm going to be kind of surprised. I'm not saying you have to even do either of these ideas. Just do something to make them a little bit better, because right now, man, we're getting to them, but I have put a lot of orange mats. Right now in Blitz, they're great, and the first few Ultimate 6 nodes, awesome and a lot of fun, and beyond that, I can't really do anything with them. They're not a very high power level yet. So yeah, here we go. Not 130, but 137, heading towards 140. So they're going to be fine with any of these teams. When you see Minerva, you usually want to run. With Dark Phoenix on your side, fear not the darkness, for she is the darkness. Having this microphone plugged in is very annoying, and I have to adjust it a lot. Dr. Dookie is not pleased. So there's my ramblings on the Wakanda team. And Black Panther, they could have him get 120% since it stacks. When they were messing around with the Wakanda team was kind of when they announced that they would make, that they officially announced that the speed bar stack, and when they were going to much earlier do the 75 level increase. That gave me pause to think, well, maybe they were talking about Black Panther, specifically having 120% speed bar regenerated on kill. However, we finally have room, being that it's at a nice round 100% number, to have Black Panther have something incredibly unique and maybe akin to lore. Maybe he could resurrect on kill. So you have to be careful. You can beat up on all the other players all you want, but you really got to kill Minerva first. Looks like Storm just saved us from Rocket. attacking, but without a Star-Lord or anyone dying for Thanos to give energy, I don't think he had enough energy to his ultimate. And we have a bunch of deflects up, so it wouldn't have really been a big bother anyhow. Best skill in the game. Am I being sarcastic? The nice big 50,000 damage slice. I understand that there's some folks that have some a bunch of red stars in Wolverine, and they didn't write out and say they put orange mats in that skill for the extra 100%, but they do say that they will sometimes see 150k crits. I forget who said that off the top of my head. I think Mobile Gamer. I don't know any of these folks personally. Maybe one day. No, my goal is to give an alternative view and some tinfoil hat conspiracies. And maybe if they sound good enough to Fox Next, they will pluck them out of the ether and put them in the game. So let's see. Will the Wakanda team do as well against a Minerva team? This is a much worse Minerva team, probably. Is there a better team? A harder team? Oh, here. That's a decent team. Some synergy going on. So let me tell you. Let me tell you, Sonny, or lady, young lady. Dr. Dookie put an orange mat in Killmonger's basic, which has made it a beautiful thing. Orange mats in Shuri's ultimate and passive. An orange mat in M'Baku's passive. An orange mat in Okoye's basic. So 5 orange mats in total, and I plan to do that all over again very shortly, as soon as I can get done focusing on the necessary at this point, if you have it in Arena, the X-Men Phoenix team. But they're almost all 6664, and then Colossus, he has the orange mat in the passive. Phoenix, I put an orange mat in her passive as well. Yeah, I'd like to throw one in her ultimate as well, so she clears all positives, but at some point, I'm going to just have to say they're good enough and move on, especially because it doesn't seem like I'm... With a 200k Phoenix team, doesn't seem to do better than the hybrid team I have now. I gotta take that into account. I do want it to be good enough, though, to do some damage in war for a while, and to, be usable in basic, in Blitz, as an 8.3 team. I'll maintain it to make sure it stays there, as far as gear tier and level ups go. But as far as, really, I really want Colossus to be level 70 and Phoenix to be 70. Other than that, if they're all level 65 for now until the level cap is raised, that's good enough for me. So what to expect with the level cap raise? Some sad days. So folks are starting to say out there that, well, gee, how much longer is... Shoot, that was a mistake. I'm going to auto this. Well, gee, how much longer is Ultron going to be like the character to get in the game? Because this is what this is what folks do. They get Ultron, and then with all of the crazy orange mats that you get when you get Ultron, they immediately gear tier him to 13, and they immediately, get him up to level 70, and immediately orange mat all of his abilities as fast as they can. You can't red star him yet. So they do this, and then they go through it a second time, so they immediately get him up to 7 gold star. So that seems to be the thing to do. I have not entered Fear the Darkness yet, but I have entered Enter the Darkness and completed it. Too many entereds. can't wait for Gamble the Darkness. Or Goad the Darkness. Or whatever they're going to do following the trend. Okay, so this is my adjusted Kree team. Well, I was leveling up Minerva. I just threw her on this, but now she's part of another team, I think. Well, I mean, properly for raids and war defense, I have Minerva on the BKT, but I don't think I use her for that in Blitz because I have Star-Lord on the Guardians and Fury's on the Sherry Fear team and so on. But I really need to do my 8.3 teams because I have some that I pretend they're 8.3 teams and I get frustrated when they lose. And then, I don't know. Blitz is a cash grab, hence the name of this video if anyone is reading. Blitz, I'm so far away from getting into the top 1,500. And I think one of the reasons is I just don't have the depth of red stars in the 4 and above. I have a couple really great red stars, a 7 and a 6, but it's just 2 characters. That's not a team, and it's not multiple teams. That hurt? Oh no, never mind. That was a summon. Who cares? Okay, ability block it is. So he won't be able to summon a minion. So that's fine. We'll pick on Daredevil. And now we want to kill off Yondu before he does anything. We'll take out... We will auto down Deadpool. There's a chance that Hulk is going to taunt before... Oh, nope. So a high leveled up Hulk now with a bunch of gold and red stars, ooh, that can be problematic. It's not going to make you lose usually, but if you have a high synergy team like S.H.I.E.L.D., it depends a lot on heals and not on having a bunch of health. Hulk kills the wrong character with his little temper tantrum, just boom, 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 knocks it out. Oh, okay, all of a sudden your healer's gone, you can't resurrect itself. You might lose that match. It's this weird RNG. And there's that Ultimate 6 node that we all know about that maybe you pull out your defenders just for that node, just to throw them away because you don't want some RNG to take out Minerva in your BKT or whatever. So here we go. So I'm at a Nobu's really not that good enough to have on. So this is my whoops. I need to level up my, where is he? My Doctor Strange, but this is my blind team. I don't have Hawkeye on it. I could. But it's going to tear up probably this team if I put the blinds right and do everything correct. So I'm at a crossroads. I'd really like my Spider-Verse team to be much better. I'm going to 6 gold star. Venom in probably a few days. I think he's at 191 out of 200. And then in a week or two, Green Goblin will be 6 gold stars. And that's probably where I'm going to leave the team. And I want to get them up to tier 10 to see how they are. They used to, for some reason, when they were new, they were like a hard counter to S.H.I.E.L.D., but now it seems like there's this weird chance that before they even get started, before Carnage can even, do his famous move and get everything going and Venom spreads all the bleeds, just 2 or 3 characters are just boom, 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 taken out. And my working theory is it's when they have a disproportionately high level shield security. So I've been keeping an eye out for that and trying to avoid that when I see it, and hoping that, you know, my odds improve with my Spider-Verse team. But I also do want to give them a little bit more cushion of health and whatnot. They're all 6664. I haven't yet wanted to invest any orange mats in them because, again, Wakanda and this X-Men team that came up out of the blue that really is as good as they say it is. Okay, so let's see what kind of damage we can start off there with Minerva. Okay, so a few things. We do not want Rocket to kill anybody here. We have a Groot. I just realized that that's not good. So Groot is going to cleanse everything. But what we can do, I think, is get that up to 3, and Groot only cleanses 2. And Rocket's still going to go before Groot, so this is still going to work out. So what else do we want to do? If we throw anything extra on anybody also, it's gonna be good for us. And he didn't do. Oh, okay, it's not his turn yet. And she went, so this is not going great. Let's be honest here, I messed up pretty bad. Rocket's about to do his ultimate. Let's get those deflects up. Let's see what that'll do. Okay. Boom, big flip from Doctor Strange. Everyone's slowed up again, but there's no offense down on Rocket right now. That's causing some worry. Our deflects are used up. Okay. It's like a desperation move from Quake here. This is just, I'm just kind of, alright, kind of interested to, oh, their Minerva died somehow on a counter, I'm guessing. Huh. Okay. And so many slows, so many blinds, so many, oh, good offense down. Groot can hit really hard if he gets a crit. Ooh, that can just take a character out. Look at all those beautiful Lokis. There's a time in history where Taylor Swift would be very happy to see that. May be very upset. So they're fun. They don't pack a lot of punch, but you have so many slows, so many offense downs. You're taking a team that's supposed to be a heavy hitter. They're not going to be able to do the damage take you out. That's the idea. So my guess is the way that Cerebro talks. So this could be really frustrating. So the way that Cerebro talks, Nebula's never going to get updated ever. Ever. The only way that Nebula gets updated would be if she gets her a standalone Nebula movie called Nebula, the Legendary Character. And that's what it's called. And then Fox Next is like, alright, we gotta make a move on this. And then what they'd probably do is make a character literally called Legendary Nebula. And then never actually fix Nebula. She needs to be... What I like what they did with Nebula is they're like, alright, we're going to make this character that if there ever is a game mode where you have a character where the character has to just be by itself, let's make that character and we'll call it Nebula. we'll give her, oh shoot, these disrupts I was not paying attention to. So we'll give her 2 evades, which are good. We'll give her 2 counters, which adds up to really only 1 attack. Well, according to the game, according to that MSF.GG, it's like 117% of your basic ability or whatever. Anyway. Not a whole attack is the general consensus, I believe. And then your normal attack has a chance to speed you up for a single round. Didn't mean to do that. Hopefully no one dies. Okay. So in order for her to survive in this day and age, and she can stack, so this is what's weird. The mechanic I like about her is she can stack speed ups because she can potentially gain a speed up on a counterattack. That I always thought was cool about her. What I'd like to see though, in this day and age of Colossi, she really needs to have 3 evades, 4 counters, at least 2 deflects, and either a drain or a heal. If you really want her to be some, Energizer Bunny, last man standing character to do the job, and maybe she only gains all this stuff disproportionately to like other characters on the team dying. I don't know. But right now, she's a space filler, and she's only really dangerous if you're on an even footing and you don't take her out right away, and at the end of the game she can, she'll have her 2 counters and 2 evades, and if you only have a couple characters left, that can be bad news. So here's my Spider-Verse, which is recently a little bit better because of Carnage having 6 stars. I could rank up Miles Morales to 7. I don't have the gold right now. They're not that great for defenders. I think they're pretty good for Kree, I think, right? As you just saw. So this is what's really funny. Probably a bad choice, because you just saw my Kree team without a Minerva dismantle the Spider-Verse team, and now I'm going to have a Spider-Verse team attacking a Kree team that also has Minerva. How could this end up going well? Well, maybe it won't. I promise not to throw a temper tantrum today. Dookie's not throwing anything today. So, look at this. Carnage is going to go bada bing, bada boom. Oh, no resist. It's a beautiful thing when that happens. I think she puts deflects up that I want to avoid. So, Kree Noble clears negative effects, but it's like 1 at a time at a probability. I don't think it's a guarantee. I could be wrong. Where did that... Okay, she just absorbed a bunch. So we want to spread what's left there. And we're not taking any chances. Minerva's down. Nothing to explode here. So we'll give him the speed up from that kill. He gets pretty annoying at this point. Did he do his ability block yet? I don't know. We could explode him. He's pretty low health. Didn't spread anything though. So who do we want to ability block? Probably this person. Ooh, maybe the guard would have been a better choice. Let's do the ultimate. Do a bunch of damage with Green Goblin. And more speed bar from that kill, right? Oh, that was weird. What happened? And goodbye. Goodbye, says Dr. Dookie. Goodbye to you all. Boom. So Spider-Verse will never be any better for just taking out a single node in raid, and even then, not a boss node, I would imagine, because you know, when you're fighting 15 or 18 characters or whatever, and they have beautiful synergy that just starts falling apart. One of them dies. That's, you know, Venom dies. You can't spread stuff. All of a sudden, not good. You're not in good shape. So climbing the ladder. I just have 3 teams left. My shield team, probably not where they should be with Nick Fury on it, and the fact that they're the gateway to getting uh, rank 7 Iron Man, which I don't have yet. I might have a rank 7 Nick Fury before I have rank 7 Iron Man, but I'm not really planning on pushing that either. Okay, they're pretty good for taking out defenders. So here's the thing, unless you like throwing the dice, or if you just have a really overpowered team, the thing to do is to take out Iron Fist. And then the team no longer has any healing function. The curtain, the man behind the curtain is revealed because you suddenly see they don't really have a lot of health, except for Luke Cage. So we're going to rapidly take out Iron Fist. Unfortunately, not before he got his turn, not before he had a heal. Good luck on that speed bar. And this is where the shield team is transformed, because they have offense up and speed up now and defense up for 2 turns. And a lot of them have counters also because I have the operator on the team instead of the shield medic. Not a big fan of her. Maybe I don't have enough red stars for her to have enough health for her to, you know, be really great. But I'd much rather have this. If your team starts to die to the point where you're like hoping on that probabilistic resurrect, you're probably too far downhill to really save anyway. Although in a pinch, yeah, I've gotten lucky. But that's not something you want to rely on. And also, my operator has 5 red stars. So she, in a single shot, she will usually strip it off. Because of that focus, especially when she has the offense up. Boom. Took something off of Luke Cage just now, making me a teller of truths instead of a spreader of lies. And double tap, clearing the death proof, and then taking Luke Cage out. So sometimes this is a tier 8.3 team, and other times it's not. When I see when Dr. Dookie sees other Defenders teams in Blitz, by the time you get to 8.3, this team will, you know, be about 60k deficient. There'll be 311k Defenders teams to contend with. Right now they do just fine climbing the ladder. It's just disappointing. So here's a quick story. This game will always have a best team because there's just so many characters. And although it might play a little bit at times like rock, paper, scissors, so that you can say, well, this team is basically the same as that team. Generally speaking, you're going to see like the best team in the game right now will have Ultron on it when we're talking about arena teams, 5v5. So just Ultron with other stuff. Ultron and a Minerva and this and that. People go, whatever, Ultron and Ultron and Night Nurse. Whatever. Just whatever you want to do. Go crazy. Just whatever. So there'll be a time. So this is my prediction. So these are the end times. Not for the game or popularity of the game, but just for Ultron being the cool kids club path will end not when everyone has one, but it will end around the time that Gear 14 comes out. It will end around the time that where level 75 stuff comes out. It might, his time in the prime limelight might last until level 80 even, but by then I imagine to at least start to get excited for Gear 15, Gear Tier 15 stuff, and potentially Gear 15, 16 released at the same time. To get excited for that stuff, there's probably going to be some tweaking to that, maybe adding a new ultimate character. It's going to happen sooner or later. It might be after the color orange, so it might be when Gear Tier 17 drops. I don't know. But sooner or later, when the Tier 4 ability materials are looking like they're going to be replaced with the Tier 5 ability materials, and when the orange mats appear that they're going to be replaced with another hue from the rainbow, then you shall know that these are the end times. When possibly another hue of color drops upon the stars, or another count of stars appear, perhaps an eighth, or dare I say a ninth star. Ugh, let's stop at 8 stars. Let's not have 8 stars. Let's stop at 7. But when something like this happens, Ultron's days will be numbered, and another king or queen will emerge to dominate for another long stretch in another the darkness. So let it be prophesied by Dr. Dookie. So say we all. Let's move on. The Defenders are made for taking out villains, which I think is why it's very interesting that this Sinister 16 is made for taking out the Defenders and S.H.I.E.L.D. If you have the Vulture now, it looks like if you get 200k or so Sinister 16 with the proper players, so that's with Mysterio, with the Vulture, with the Shocker, with the Rhino, with the Green Goblin, it looks like they will punch up on Defenders. And that's fantastic. That's another, hard counters. You want as many hard counters to the teams that you see as possible. Defenders show up all the time in war. 300k Defenders by the dozen. So you don't want to say, well, I'll match that with another 300k Defenders team. No. And do you want to use your S.H.I.E.L.D. team there when your S.H.I.E.L.D. team might be able to take out some other more heinous looking team because of Nick Fury? Anyhow. This is where Dr. Dookie is confident to sit back, lean, and narrate as we autoplay this. So Punisher's ultimate after Jessica Jones' ultimate, which was not needed. We get the passive from assist from Punisher there. We get defense up. We have the special from Daredevil followed by the ultimate of Iron Fist. The cleanse from Jessica Jones followed by the taunt from Luke Cage. It looks like that was the ultimate of Daredevil. We got a heal proc from Iron Fist followed by a basic, and I think that ended on either the special or the basic from Punisher. I didn't quite see. I was blinking. Yeah, so my Defenders team is in this awkward spot where I didn't just keep on going and going forever till like they're all Gear Tier 13 and whatever, which I've seen that and it's a terrible sight. But I kind of stopped in a weird spot because they're not all Gear Tier 11. 2 of them are Gear Tier 12. And I don't plan on having them go to Gear Tier 13 because the Palladium, I have 11 of 12. And once I have 12 of 12, that goes to Rocket. So then it's going to be a very long time before I have the Palladian to give it to Daredevil, presumably, to start building an elite Defenders team. But do I want to do that? No, not really. There's probably better places to put the materials at this point. I have orange mats in Daredevil's basic, Iron Fist's passive, Punisher's passive, Jessica Jones basic, and that's it. And at this point, I feel like, it's really great when you use Daredevil's basic, but the BKT team is basically the only raid team I'm using right now. They take care of every node on autoplay. And because of that, it's just, yeah. And when I stopped, before I leveled up my Minerva, when I finally had the time to get her ability mats in just like last week or whatever. Oh, here's the challenge. I was using this hybrid team with Mantis and Nick Fury and Star-Lord, Rocket and Groot, something like that. I was able to auto all of the nodes there, except I think I had trouble with, I want to say the Hulk one, like RNG sometimes people die, sometimes not. And then maybe trouble with the second to last node where you have Thanos and Star-Lord. Sometimes Star-Lord would just come out and kill someone. Well, anyhow. This is a pretty tough team. Wow. Oh, you thought I was talking about them. No, not really. I was just kind of impressed at how much damage. I'm not mad, I'm just impressed. So that pretty much takes care of her. That pretty much takes care of him. Death proof. It's not exactly what I wanted to happen. I think I want to do this. Okay, so it's kind of a bad move. Alright, Mantis died. That's not good. Good. Finally! Finally! No drain on kill is so bad. Killmonger gets drain on kill, or health on kill, or something. So, whatever. I wish they'd fix that. Drax is pretty bad right now. And their answer to fixing Drax was kind of lame. Oh, Mantis will sometimes give him deflect. Only if she uses her ability, her basic ability that you never want her to use, except for to stun people if you have a charge. Okay. So after that, the thing to do is to piece together a Juggernaut team to get points. Elektra, if I want to go with all marquee. Oh no, that's not true because of the shield medic anyway. Yeah, let's just stick with this. The mighty hand assassin. No, it's 3 red stars. Don't want to die today. These are pretty bad options. Okay, so you ever wonder what's a real red star and what's not? Like if you don't have that many, you're just like, well, it's nice. I have this one team where everyone in it has 3 red stars. and 6 gold stars or something like that. Well, that might be okay. But if you look at the recommendations for Ultimate 7, it's 4 red stars. 4 red stars, 2, 5, 10, that's 20%. A 20% damage increase. That's what's real in this game. So basically, if you have a character that has less than 4 red stars, even if they're gear tier 13, you take them and they're level 70, and they have, like 6664 and maybe 1 or 2 orange mats where they would benefit the most, what have you, they're going to still, at least a probabilistic rate, they're going to get killed in Ultimate 7. Ultimate 7 says that, red stars are real at 4 and above. So that means if you want a team to have some kind of advantage in Ultimate 7, they're going to have 5 red stars and above. Maybe that's still a setback because we don't have Gear Tier 14 yet, which is pretty much what Ultimate 7 needs, and we're not level 75 plus, so that means 75 will do for some characters, 80 for others. So they haven't raised the level cap or the gear, and they haven't provided us with the gear yet. So all you have writing on that is your so if 4 is the requirement, that means if you want to actually meet the requirement currently to make up for the gear, you can't necessarily make up for abilities unless it's just damage or a health boost. But to overcome that obstacle, you probably need 5 or 6 red stars, and if you have a 7 red star, you're really gonna shine, right? But that's your whole team. So it's just my 7 red star Star-Lord, for example. He doesn't cut it, not by himself. He might live to have a single turn because the rest of the team is dead if you get really unlucky, because they just don't have the health threshold, for example. Well, anyway, this isn't going that good. So who's going to do what? We're going to have a couple taunts. Can we take out Night Nurse first? And the answer is yes. So with offense down, Punisher does get a buff against villains, but the offense down kind of took care of that a little bit, or absorbed it a little bit. We're going to get a blind, but we resisted it. Well, Gamora did not. That's too bad. We're still health locked. That's too bad. That was also not good. So here's what happens when you go into Blitz and your characters are not of a similar level. This kind of thing happens. Target down. Really could use Resurrect there. A couple characters die, and if I win now, it's really going to be Juggernaut doing it all. And now I'm starting to doubt that possibility from happening, as we're stuck on Thanos. But let's just do this. I really wanted to target Punisher when I did that. Oh well. Served its purpose. Put us back in the game, so to speak. This will go a little bit faster now that I won't just be reduced to Juggernaut. Nice. 4 damage. Alright. By the way, 6 red stars sitting on 7 gold star. That Juggernaut, if he gets, like, 2 to 1, if you're 40k, 2 40ks, that's okay. 3, you'll probably get whittled down and die. I mean, if they're spaced out and you can't hit them all. He just doesn't get the energy. When he's by himself, he doesn't he can't trigger his ultimate enough. So what are we doing? We're on tier 5. So here's a little trick. This is at the top of the screen, that's a tier 8.3 team. The defenders are sometimes 8.3 team. The shield is sometimes an 8.3, and likewise with the Spider-Verse. And then everything over here, I'm really kind of kidding myself until I get down to Wakanda being sometimes an 8.3, even at that low level, if I pick my battles very carefully. And even at this very, very low level, the X-Men team is definitely still an 8.3 team. And you not even being too picky. In war, going up against debuffs, starting with debuffs in a room, I've still punched up 100k on this, or 90k something. In fair conditions in wars, 110k. When later in the game, when the debuffs are gone because the pertinent buildings on both sides are destroyed and whatnot. So what I'd like to do is take some teams that are still going to win, so I can climb the ladder, but are not going to be the 8.3 teams, because I want the points that the not only the Guardians team at the top finish 8.3 teams, they're also 250 some K, so you get more points. So it's better to, you want to be a little bit strategic when you're climbing the ladder. I could have mathed this up a bunch and done exactly, when to switch and whatever. I don't really care for Blitz because I'm not going for the 1500, so I feel like I'll never get there. I feel like it's just a carrot, so I do this as a cash grab. I get the gold and then I get out. And I was kidding myself when I was trying to do it for a little bit, trying to occupy myself while I was getting sucked into all that Phoenix nonsense. And what did I find out? No, I don't think I ever came close. And I know some of that is down to strategy, and I know if it comes down to it, there might be like, oh, I'm so close. If I spent 500 power cores, I'd do it. I don't have the power cores saved up and whatever. But yeah, just I'm not going to try anymore, I've decided. So what does not trying in Blitz look like for Dr. Dookie? It looks like getting about 1,000,000 points so that I'm fairly confident I get the highest, 1 to 10% bonus or whatever it is. Or 10 to 25% bonus or whatever. And that's it. So as I mentioned, I have a lot of fun with this Brawlers team. The Power Armor team is kind of similar. It's you're a bunch of glass cannons, you don't have a lot of health, you have this barrier trick that you can hide behind that makes it seem like you can take a really strong hit. And then after that, you're very vulnerable. Let's take this team out. So, Power Armor. Yeah, you might lose rescue or whatever, you don't care. You want her to throw the barrier up and do the offense up, and then you do AoE after AoE after AoE after AoE, if you have vision there maybe. Mop, 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 mop. And I barely put in any energy into mine, and that's a sad fact. Loki, goodbye. Pew! So, with Mordo's speed bar being all the way down, we got the defense down on him, which made Deadpool's attack lethal. Not a lot of greens to flip. No more resurrections. And goodbye, Scarlet Witch. Let's see, clear 2 positive effects, then attack. That's nice. And goodbye. Loading, loading, loading. Keep that strike force loading, strike force. So where are we? Where are we? So we sit on milestone 10. The last 4 are the grind. Let's finish off tier 5. Huh. So this is what I call a trap team. It's a war team. It's you go, oh, 65k, easy peasy lemon squeezy. No, that's a 49k gear tier 12, 5 gold star Captain Marvel with 3 red stars. Let's just avoid that team, shall we? Find defenders team with Night Nurse. Step 1. Step 2. Win. I remember back in the day when the game was new. No healers except for Medic, Sorcerer, Night Nurse. No, Night Nurse was the only marquee healer. I believe that's true. For a while because Foxnex didn't like the idea of its player base like not paying to regenerate their characters in raids. Sneaky, sneaky player base. So, but Night Nurse was popular in the Netflix series, so they had to put her in. And for a time, it was, believe it or not, it was popular to have the Night Nurse Fenders. And Night Nurse Fenders very slowly marched through the raids. Oh, probably not what I wanted to do. Sure, no one died, but they didn't do a lot of killing either. Daredevil with his ultimate, if no one has a counter, yeah, that's an AoE. If one person counters you, or if there are more than 6 targets, and you don't have it leveled up, game over. Speaking of game over, goodbye again, Night Nurse. Boom! Daredevil dodges, and sometimes going for him as the first target can be frustrating when he dodges. But if you get lucky and you can eliminate him rather quickly, he does a lot of damage. Or he can. He is capable of doing incredible amounts of damage. Take that, speed bomb. That was overkill. I would like to see a character with a single target attack where the Q is not, they have the least amount of health. Because that works sometimes, like if someone has 3/4 of their health, and then a taunt goes off, then it's like, oh, I'm glad I have this. However, I'd like to see the power of the characteristic that it will attack the lowest level health character that has defense up. Something like that, that'd be fun. Okay, so this team is now costing 50 power, so I'm done with them. We got to tier 6. So now going back to just spending 25 at a time, we can go to the next team that should not have any problem struggling in tier 6 with all the orange mats I put into them. They should be fine with defenders. And I wanted to avoid that Mordo blinding team because I just didn't want to deal with a prolonged fight. I might get a prolonged fight with Luke Cage And what does that mean? I just mean it's going to take a while. It's not like I'm worried about winning or losing. It's just like, well, do I really want this fight to go on for 10 minutes? Like, I'm starting to question the veracity, wrong nomenclature. I'm starting to question the significance of 3x in this game. Maybe there should be a 4 or possibly a 5x. Defense down. So I've experimented. Sometimes you want to slow with Black Panther's basic instead of getting the offense up. Probably not. Do you usually want to taunt there first? I think so. Do I want to get the offense up on this character, for example? So this time, I do want to slow him, and success. Who would be good for getting a heal block? Oh, no one got it anyway. Ah. Okay, no crit on that basic. That's alright. Jessica Jones has very little armor, not a lot of health. Let's heal up the team. Alright, finally someone is not defense up. Did not... Oh, got the crit. Took out the Punisher. Alright, well, we cleared defense up, and we added a slow with Black Panther. That ultimate does hardly any damage, but it's not 6 yet, so... Oh, looks like there's an artifact, and Killmonger lost his assault rifle. Let's see if it comes back. Nope. Black Panther having 2 turns in a row because of Spielberg feed on death. So those are my Wakandans. That's where they are right now. They're fun. They're, I think about the most fun I have is playing the Wakanda team and the Phoenix X-Men team, if I'm going to be honest. Although Psylocke is kind of the left thumb of that team. I know there are a bunch of fanboys that just love Psylocke. Oh, this might be tough. This might be a dumb decision. Let's see. Dr. Dookie knows not fear in the face of fear. So here's the thing. Imagine you're in my position and cool like me with Phoenix and Dark Phoenix on your X-Men team. Well, her basic removes up to 3 positive effects from the target. Her ultimate removes, I think, 3 or all positive effects, depending on where you have it from the primary target. She dies, and she's Dark Phoenix. Her basic still removes, but now her ultimate removes 3 or all, depending on where you have that, positive effects from all of the people you're attacking. So the fact that Psylocke chains and removes 2 buffs from up to 3 characters, so I don't know, maybe, she doesn't do anything in her basic, so she's a pretty lousy pick, to be honest. She's a pretty lousy brawler character. So, I don't know. It's my 2 cents. Alright, let's go for getting rid of Minerva. She resisted. Ooh, 31,000 power. Okay. Stomp her down. Ow. Okoye. We better get a taunt up. She has a lot of damage for this team in the form of her, did we make a mistake? Oh my goodness, we really messed this up. We messed this up real bad. Oh no. Let's see if we can recover from that. Alright, you have to start with Sherry's special ability so that everyone starts with charges. Oh boy. Oh yeah. Okay. Let's see if this can be remedied. Oh, defense down. Oh, this is really bad. Okay, that was great. That was the best thing that happened. I feel like we're going to need to reset the game because Killmonger yet again is artifacting. Oh well. Let's see, by now I think the battery is charged to this headset, so I can finally lose this. And I hope that everyone can still hear me, and there may have been some weird clicking. I hope not. Oh, Okoye went down because of... Oh, I just messed this up real bad, that's why. Alright, Killmonger got his offense up. We moved to slow Captain Marvel. Special. So Black Panther, this is going to be fun. The artifacts and all, this will be fun. So now, the Wakanda team is good enough to make mistakes and still take out a Kree, Captain Marvel, Minerva team. That was awesome. Super speed bar! 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 Boom! 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 So look at that, and then he'll just go again. That was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun. And Sherry finishing off the last target, that is the cherry on top, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I don't think you could really ask for a better fight than that. Okay, I want to solve this artifact problem. Let's see, I hope I don't have to... So, hashtag, give us Nakia, and she better resurrect. That's the whole hashtag. So, oh, here's some interesting fan work. Maybe legit work. Oh, nope, can't get to it. There it is. So that's so look at this. So Nakia's here instead of M'Baku, but that's pretty much the Marvel Strike Force team. That's pretty funny. Okay. And let's get, you know, Lupita Nyong'o. She is an attractive woman. I'm just gonna say, with those Bantu knots, looking very good, looking very nice. I would love hashtag Bantu knots Marvel Strike Force. We need, and you know, it would be nice to have, oh yeah, Domino. It would be really nice to have Domino in the game, sporting a nice, beautiful natural throw. Like, you know, I'm just saying. Just saying. Dr. Dookie needs to create some more Dookie fuel. He will be right back while this is loaded. The rummaging you hear right now is Dr. Dookie making delicious brewed coffee, not Keurig. Dr. Dookie does not like spreading waste in the environment, and I'm not an active environmentalist, although Dr. Dookie is aware of climate change and doesn't want to go out of his way to poison the world. So one little contribution that I do is I do not partake in Keurig cups. It doesn't take much longer. If you know you're going to have 2 cups of coffee, both your cups are brewed, the warmer keeps it warm. The light is green, the trap is clean. So, yeah, the Wakanda conspiracy. Will their new abilities with the orange mats set them apart from the rest? I have this other crazy theory that about Cyclops that I'd like to throw out there. Right now, there is one. Hello, everybody. Dr. Dookie's back. I'm no longer a bodiless voice. There is one gameplay that the X-Men Phoenix team does not currently wedge itself into, shoehorn itself into, and that would be raids. It would it would really make a lot of people mad who don't have Phoenix. So that's why I think this would be funny, because that's my sadistic side. That's Dr. Dookie's sadistic side. And I would really like an orange mat in Cyclops passive go off that would revive Phoenix, or if you have Dark Phoenix, revert her back to Phoenix, not a passive. I would want his ultimate to do that. And the reason why I say that is, if she's Phoenix at the end of the match, then you still have her to go on to the next raid node. If she's Dark Phoenix at the end of the match, then she's dead. Then she's dead. And if you don't believe me, I will show you right now, live, right now, live, right now. Right now, live. Do pardon me for the allergies. I did not take my allergy pill yet today. Dr. Dookie will have to remedy this immediately for health reasons. This is what we're going for. taking that with coffee was a bad choice. Oh. Okay, Dr. Dookie is here to destroy his enemies with the power of the Phoenix. But mostly I want you at home to see what happens. Or on your mobiles. X-Men. Alright. So we want Phoenix to die here. It's part of proving the point. Okay, now I'm worried we're not going to even win this node with just... Oops. They did fix that Blitz glitch, right? Whatever. Alright, so she's dead. Now she's... Dark Phoenix. Da, 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 da. Phoenix. Oh, my voice is not warmed up. I shouldn't do that. So this is why I didn't put Classics right next to Dark Phoenix, and why I think I have to fix my roster. Because once Phoenix dies and comes back as Phoenix, Dark Phoenix, you don't want her getting damaged anymore at that point. Whereas when she's Phoenix, you do want her to die. If that all came out right. But now we have Colossus. He has his orange passive. He does not have his orange ultimate. And neither does Phoenix, but they do both have their orange matte passives. So here we go. Could have saved this, but why? I just, you know. Okay. So, yeah, I was worried for a second. I can't believe it. And look at this. So, how many charges does Storm have? 4. That's not a lot. She has 5. I guess that was a counter. Alright, she'll get 1 more charge. Right? Did she not? Oh, there it is. Where is it? It's not showing it. Alright, whatever. Cold, I know. So, Dark Phoenix was alive at the end of that. Yes, class? Yes, alright. So, I'm going to go on to node 2. Right, class? And... Ooh, no. Her health bar is 0. Whoops. And to see that on the side... Oh, look at that. 0. So, that's how they do it, folks. That's how they get you. So, I wonder if there's any ideas for this, or if this would just break their game. Oh, yeah, I don't have my BKT team saved. Here's the other thing. Rocket might as well go next to him, because I don't need the heals going off like crazy, because the team is just that strong. Oh, whoops. I could do that. Right. And is it adjacent? So, do we want to put Minerva even next to him and Groot on the outside? I'm not sure about that. Oh, this is loading. Dr. Dookie will eat his chewable vitamins that contain all natural flavors and colors, no artificial dyes. Very chewy. Thanos gets his sweet throne. He's not that good of a character outside of a few teams. Unless you have 7 red stars on him, maybe. Gear tier 13. I don't know. Okay, so I don't want the Hulk to be there, so he won't be there anymore. Oh, I didn't get the triple tap. You made me a liar, Hulk. Jerk. This won't be quite as fun anymore. Offense down and a single taunt. I don't have, that's his last purple mat that I do not have for my Thanos, is he does not get a double taunt. But my Thanos also isn't gear tier 12, so he doesn't last long enough to have a double taunt associated with him, I don't think. He has 4 red stars, so that makes him real, but he's only 5 gold stars. He is on the cusp. I think he needs like 18 or something like that, and he'd have 6 gold stars, and that's the last good bonus you get from star bumps that are not red. Alright, well, he just went. Oh, I timed that wrong. Whatever, just kill Drax. They're so strong. So very strong. Alright. Clear those bleeds just cuz. Do this just cuz. More energy. So that's why everyone uses this team in some configuration, some, I don't know, some slight variation sometimes. For a while, I think for a while I was using my Juggernaut, my ridiculous red star Juggernaut to do that. But I think I got that 4th red star in Thanos, and I go, oh, he can finally not, get beaten to a pulp before healing, and he can heal himself, so that's good. So look at this Juggernaut, though. What do I need? Just this shoulder piece. I need, I think, 12 more of these Superior Vials, and what is that? 38 of these Superior Mystic Resistance Catalysts. But that will probably wait a minute, because likewise, Star-Lord just needs his last piece here, and it's also 38 of those, so I'm going to need 38 plus 60, 98 in order to do both of them. So I will probably have the, what is it, Mystic Vials? Superior Vials by then. At any rate, with 6 red stars and 7 gold stars, he has 188,000 health. I really, on a nerdy OCD level, I'm really looking forward to having this number cross the 200,000 threshold. And I'd love to see him have 13,000 damage and 12,000 armor. His stats are great. His resistance is pretty gross. And then, nothing else changes, which is kind of a bummer, but that's him. That's Juggernaut. Almost 70,000 power. I don't have Magneto yet, and even if I did, I don't know if I'd do this. And I think that'd be the only one, right? 60 damage, just an extra 60 damage. He hits so hard, though. Having 40% extra damage when I have him assist, when I have him on my Nick Fury team, for example, he assists a lot. That'd be quite a bit. So right now, doing, just rounding. Just a second, I have to deal with a cat. Oh Alright. Hairball. Just a hairball. So, Juggernaut will be my tank for Fear of the Darkness if I ever get there. Here's Nick Fury. He's my only successfully finished Gear Tier 13, but you can see these two are pretty close behind him. Now that I have a 6 gold star Carnage and I have no interest in the immediate future of grinding him to 7 star, I'm able to now, like everyone else in their right minds, use my war currency for orange materials. So with just a few weeks, if we lose a bunch, maybe just 1 week if we win a bunch, I'll have at least one of these, potentially both of these characters. And then, unfortunately, I am 1 Palladium short for Rocket Raccoon. So he's not, it's going to be back to the waiting game for him. He's going to be member 4 just because he's close and he does synergize with Star-Lord, so that'll be good. So Star-Lord, Juggernaut, Nick Fury, and Rocket. And I'm hoping to finish off with Minerva, but the problem is, let me show you my Gear 13 tracker. I believe this is up to date today. There might be something that's off. My molecular cloth. But the green boxes indicate that I have spent the 12 unique superior items, and those are the 3 characters. I have titanium alloy good to go. I think I want to save that for for Cyclops. Crossing my fingers, hoping that he makes Phoenix a raid viable character with some kind of resurrecting, resetting mechanism. But there's Rocket, oh, ever so close. But who I really need to make this team work, well, to make any team work, right? Especially a tech team, though, right? Is Minerva. We're missing 3 gamma radiations. And if I eventually would like to put Groot in there and take someone else out, possibly, I could do that if I'm 4 short for that, though. So anyhow, that's where my standing is. I'm 1 adamantium short for when I do what everyone else does and instantly promote Ultron up to Gear Tier 13. I'm just hope I can do it before the end days come as prophesized earlier in this video. Look out for those signs. What is going on? Alright, back to the Blitz grind. So we still have some uses out of these guys. We ultimately just want to reset that artifact. Let's see if Killmonger's still doing that. Oh, we probably want to avoid that Nick Fury, I'm thinking. Trying to think. It's a pretty low security, though. We'll try. We'll be done. So I like to play this game wide, and that used to mean getting everyone up to 5 star. Now, because of Phoenix, it means getting everyone up to 6 star and leaving them there. But there's still some, at some point you got to cut your losses. My AIM team, no, they're not going to be 6 star. And until and unless there's some major sweet character announced that I'll need to level them up for. Same with Hydra. Same with Avengers. You don't need them. You don't need them to unlock anything. They're just, Okay. So how do we want to try to deal with this? I need to get rid of shield security, and he resisted. Or blocked or something. Oh, I think he blocked. Did not goof this time. You need to do Shuri's special to start up the team. Block, block, block. What is going on with that shield security? What about these shield securities? Oh, look at that. Killmonger's not even facing the right way. How do we expect to win? Killmonger's not even facing the right way. And why does he have a taunt? We must have killed somebody. Well, we're going to kill someone else. Hmm. Oh no, that was a poor choice. Okay, this is probably where we're going to bow out because look, we've done 0 damage to anybody. I'm going to blame this on the block rate. I've never seen block, 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 block before. So I do not want to try another Shield Fury team. And if now my Wakandans cost 50 points, that was kind of a waste. Yep, that was a waste. Moving on. I'd like to show them off one more time. They can do better than that, but well, it is what it is. So who else is not going to give me that much? But I can still use them to climb. Well, the next culprits would be the Kree. But I'm going to be a lot more careful here. Not doing that team. It's interesting. No. Okay. Loading, loading, loading. Recently, there was a big announcement that Thor Love and Thunder will have Natalie Portman, Jane Foster Thor, and I couldn't be happier. Jane Foster run was awesome. And all the haters out there, you know what you can do. If you're a hater on Jane Foster Thor being Thor, then you are so illiterate when it comes to the basic principle of comic books, which is all stories return to the familiar origins of the character. The status quo must be restored. Everyone knows that. Like, even when I was a kid, first comic book series that interests me and caught my eye, I can tell you, I was in the 4th going on the 5th grade, and it was the death of Superman. He hadn't died yet. They were building up to it, and that was really, I was like, no way, they're not going to kill Superman off. And it was a little bit of a jaded or dark, not jaded, that's not the right word. I didn't have so much money that I didn't know what to do with it, and then I got disgusted. No, I had things that happened in my childhood that didn't make me always the happiest person. Let's just leave it there. And yeah, I was rooting for Doomsday. I wanted Superman. You know what I felt like? Yeah, he had it coming to it. That's what it feels like. You jerk. That's what, you know. That's where I was. I wanted to see someone fall off their high horse, I guess. I don't know. So Superman goes down, but even then, even when I saw him all bloodied and beaten with this high quality artwork, really nice, Lois crying and all this crap, Jimmy Olsen taking a picture anyway, like it's his friend getting beaten to death, but oh, I gotta do it for the paper. What a jerk. What a dingus. Jimmy Olsen. Anyhow, amidst all that, and the fact that they go, oh, we have 4 different Supermen that are going to replace him, which were actually all pretty cool. Uh, they all had their DC writing flaws, like Superboy, I'm totally angsty all the time, whatever, you know. And then Exterminator, Eradicator, the guy that later would become Eradicator. Yeah, he's kind of like, how strong is he? It's kind of vague. Cyborg Spider-Man, Hank Henshaw, who later becomes like one of the strongest characters in the DC meta, like almost unkillable and whatnot. So he's cool. And then the Man of Steel. That's my favorite one. He has this, it's like a mixture of Iron Man, Thor, and Superman all rolled into one. So that's cool. But he's just a man that was fed up, and so he made himself a power suit, and like from a box of scraps. And yeah, took it in his own hands to like start fighting, back against crime or whatever, or saving people, whatever. Whatever, they're superheroes. You know what they do. Uh, and I was like, oh, even back then though, I'm like, well, are they trying to replace him by saying, well, Superman's so great, we have 4 different possible candidates to, replace him in the meta. We're not even saying any of these characters necessarily literally stronger than Superman. Although maybe you could argue that, well, Eradicator's pure energy, blah, blah, blah powers are stronger than Superman's in that regard. But maybe he's physically frail and etc. Well, maybe the cyborg Superman is intellectually, superior. Whatever. No, that's not really what they're doing. And a part of me knew all along what they're really doing is priming the pump, getting us hungry for Superman to return. Duh. So even then, I kind of knew that when Superman died, he'd be back, and I was right. So right after, leading up to Doomsday is coming, and then Doomsday came, and then there's the death of Superman, then there's the funeral for a friend, and then there was the rebirth, Superman coming back to life, and, in relatively short order. He wasn't dead for very long. So, Jane Foster Thor was not Thor for very long, but definitely interesting enough story. Definitely enough interest there to put it, that it was in the meta enough that it deserves a movie, and you have the right director that sees this, right? That Waititi guy, he seems to have a good pulse on the meta. At least, in Ragnarok, that was great. If you could do that again, and Thor Love and Thunder, come on. It'll be a great movie. You might miss the mark, might be terrible, might be trash, but I'm not going to say it's going to be just because a woman is Thor. That's juvenile. And that's all I have to say about Leia. Oh yeah, she's going to clear all this shit. Actually, she didn't clear anything. That's remarkable. Maybe I can ability block her. No. That was silly. But she's defense down and she's so weak. Let's do something weird. Goodbye, Jessica Jones. Ah! Spider-Man has dodged you! Oops, suicide by defenders. You didn't dodge any of those. Wolverine. Wolverine's starting to get close to taking somebody out, so we'll just take him out of the game. Iron Fist doesn't dodge anything. Let's spread this stuff. Oh, that took Wolverine out even. Boom, 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 boom. Some damage. Let's spread some more stuff. Ah, that hurt. What happened there? Alright, whatever. Haha, we slowed you down again. Okay, he has 8 debuffs. And Carnage didn't even get to, whatever. Hey, there's some, like, Sabretooth in the background getting worked on from updates of days past. Alright, that got us to 7 tier. Doesn't seem like a good idea to try this. Now I'm really gonna get mad at myself if I lose here because I really didn't need to choose this one. I love me my Spider-Verse team. I wish they were 250k, and then even the shenanigans of a Fury Shield team with an operative and everything, I think they'd have enough meat to outlast that, and I think at that point, you know, Spider-Man might have his passive, so he has that extra dodge and the speed up if he dodges. But what else would be a game changer would be Venom's ultimate. That would be nice. Okay, so what are we going to do here? Whoa, he doesn't have defense up to himself. Whoa, he didn't dodge? Oh, shenanigans. I really needed him to not dodge that one. But whatever. He'll die next time, I guess. Jeez. You've had your turn. Now let's see what I can do. Goodbye, War Machine. Vision just fell over. Oh. Oh man, he didn't chain. Ah! Alright, we need to target down Iron Man because she's just gonna dodge a million times. Oh no! Oh no, this is not good. Oh no! Okay. Whew! Oh, shouldn't have messed around so much there. Alright, a couple missteps along the way, but we're sitting solid in tier 7 territory. And it's not so bad. We have to punch up now, no matter what. Alright, it's time to fill up on the Dookie fuel. Alright. So, Deadpool is a natural counter to the Spider-Verse. He's kind of annoying. If this goes well, we just did the right thing. But why would you want to target Hulk, Dr. Dookie? When Nerva's there, she clearly has to die first. Yeah, you're right. But watch this. Hulk is... Oh, why did he... I messed that up. Oh, I messed that up really bad. Oh well. Plan B. Hulk wasn't supposed to... I don't know what happened there, to be honest. Okay, Okay, so Minerva's gone. Okay. Boom, that was really helpful. Okay. Hulk is down. Your double tapping days are numbered, Daredevil. Oh, jeez. Oh no, he's gonna heal up. Oh. Ooh. Oh, wow. Oh. For just a second. Alright, now this is all a matter of... Now it's just a game of wits. No, it's not. Not at all. This is not a game of wits whatsoever. Boom. Well, another precarious win. This time Spider-Man and Venom walking away from the fray. Trash Cat. Okay, so now it's like, well... I don't know what buttons Trash Cat over there is clicking on my wife's computer, but hopefully the recycle bin didn't get permanently emptied or whatever. So, also at 160 power, not quite where you want the power level for 8.3, but we're not quite to 8.3. So for climbing the ladder, I'm still okay with spending the 25, 25, 25, whatever. You get Blitz currency just so easily, Blitz energy or whatever. 270 3 times a week and 100 every day. So, what is that? 810 plus 700, 1510. So it fills up completely 3 times a week. I'm not going to double check my math. You can if you want. Okay, so the first thing we want to do here is get the team up and running. And, oh, we got it. We wanted speed bar manipulation, and we got it twice, didn't we? Whoa, we lost somebody. That's not good. Yowza, that hurt. Hurt really bad. Okay. No assists, no nothing. We're probably okay. Probably. Ooh. Huh. Okay, that was nice, I have to say. Just... Trash Cat, no. Bad. Don't sass me. Oh my goodness. Okay, it's, you know, it's looking good now. Sure, it was scary for a second. I'll give you that. Yeah, Jessica Jones got off a triple attack, a triple tap, and it hurt really bad. I'll give you that. But look at him, he's gonna be fine now. Ooh, that hurt. Oh, Jessica Jones changed sides, and I shot her in the back of the head. That was weird. The purple man got to her. Oh, that'd be nice. Where's the purple man? That'd be a sweet villain. That's weird. Defenders. There's defenders in this game, but there are no defenders villains in this game. This game, here's a great historical fact. This game started very light on villains. You had Thanos, marquee villains. You had Thanos, Bullseye, Kingpin, and Yondu. And then they finally added Magneto and the Brotherhood, and that helped kind of even it out a little bit. But geez, we need more villains in this game. We need, well, as odd as it sounds, there just needs to be more characters overall. But they need to start thinking out of the box. They need to start making characters that I don't know, come pre-leveled up. Um, to hide the fact that you got free gold, so they don't give you the gold to spend on just anybody, but the character comes level 50 uh, for power course or whatever. So it's like you kind of gave us some gold there, but not but only for that one character. Um, there needs to be more characters in the game. Not like I'm saying you need to double it, but there just needs to be a few more. Just a few more around the edges, like what we were talking about with the Wakandan team, for example. Adding Coulson so that Shield becomes again the Swiss Army knife of the game, and you can use them in war more successfully, besides just the defending team, I imagine. All right, so who are we going to take out now? We're going to have to punch up a little bit more. This will be fine. So, Dr. Dookie, if he was a character in Marvel Strike Force, let's just say that that would be interesting. If you apply bleed and speed up to make it more likely for the bleed to go off. Well, that's kind of interesting thought. No, but Dr. Dookie would immobilize you. You'd be on the floor crapping your pants. Let's be real here. Dr. Dookie doesn't mess around. You wouldn't just be standing up bobbleheading. You'd be on the floor. Okay. So speed bar manipulation. What do we want to do? We want to kill Crossbones. Can we really keep the Punisher from shooting? Probably not. Let's go for it, though. That was nice. That was nice. Oops. Did I mess that? Yeah, I did. In hindsight, I could have taken out the Punisher. But instead, he'll get suicided. Ah, but we lost someone again. Ah, we're not playing this right if we keep losing the Shield Assault. There are better ways to play this, so the Shield team does not fall apart like this. Because now, whenever that happens, well, on any team really, but especially Shield and Defenders, when you lose one member, if it's the right member, it doesn't mean that you're going to lose the match. It usually means that the match will take drastically longer. Maybe it was Dead. It might have been Deadpool that finished him off, so that shouldn't have been too surprising, but I wasn't really paying attention that closely. Alright, so that Deadpool is the one to beat, it looks like. Oh, resisted, huh? Okay. He's taking out my minions left and right. That's okay. Alright, now it's just... When you get... So, my shield operator has 5 red stars, so although my Neferi only has 2 red stars, it's really funny when he'll get an assist with her, and it'll just, it'll do mad damage when they're both offense up. They both have offense up on their character, on their persons. Alright, now we're finally in tier 8. And we have 25, so the thing to do should be for us to go for one more defender's team. Dookie fuel. So, well, and again, welcome and thank you for coming and staying on the Dookie stream. Would Dr. Dookie's character have a stream of Dookie as a weapon? No, probably not. That's not really his thing. That's not how it works. Would Dr. Dookie make you crap your pants until you passed out from the pain? Maybe. Yeah, so, you know, poopakinesis, crapokinesis, shitokinesis, fecalkinesis, defakinesis, whatever it's called. That's what Dr. Dookie can do, so be careful, don't make him mad. Just kidding. Fecalkinesis. Oh, he resisted it. That's always the when you do something stupid, like you go, instead of finishing this character off, I'm gonna slow that character off, slow that character up or down, and then they resist what you do, and then the other character heals. You look a little foolish. Oh. All right, all those counters killed off Punisher mysteriously. That's good. We're offense up, so we don't care about their defense up. We'll use their specials and whatnot. Suicide by defenders. But I'm defensed up. And except for a rare occasion of Luke Cage using his basic and the 30% chance of giving another defender an offense up, I'm not going up against offense up folks, and they can't defense down me either. Those are the two big flaws of the defender's party. They can recover from damage, they can clear stuff off, so they can last. But if they're in a situation where the opposing team has some speed bar manipulation, for example, and they're able to, defense down or offense up, combined with the speed bar manipulation, like this team has offense up combined with speed up. But there are other options too. They also remove your speed bar on a probability. So there's also stuns and whatnot. So this shield team is quite a bit about speed bar manipulation. That's how they do it. Defenders do not really have an answer against a team that doesn't debuff them as part of their attack. So, and shield is primarily, they're positive, except for the slowdown and the stun that the security can provide. And the speed up combined with the slowdowns, if you might get a situation with the Fury Shield team where you summon 2, and if you have orange mats, maybe 3 additional security, and you can slow down every member of the team. So they're operating at half their speed, you're operating at 50% more of your speed. And in that situation, I think you get 3 turns to their 1 turn? That's devastating. Okay, so look at this. We still have 150, what is this called? Blitz charge? Still have 150 of it. And now we go to our real tier 8 teams. And we'll peak. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to pick our strongest team. And we're going to see what that gives us. Anything or just diarrhea. That's a difficult team. These are all difficult teams. But I've taken out 310 and 320k Defenders teams with this team, so this should be okay. So yeah, with Defenders, here's the thing. If my Defenders were around 200,000, 210, 220,000 power with no orange mats or maybe just one orange mat, they wouldn't see these 300k teams probably because they present you with a range of similar teams that are good at taking you out. I think that's what the conditional probability is to me. It's not game. It's not. These are 49-51 splits in your favor. It's 49-51 splits in their favor, which is kind of weird. Since we're not like playing for money, it's not a casino. It's just kind of weird. Anyhow, what do we want to do? If you want to be risky, you roll the dice and you hope that you get that 70% chance that Rocket is going to have a triple attack. But right now, look at that. Groot has offense up, and I want to show you guys on 1x. Groot is going to hit, and I've decided it's going to be the Punisher, and he's going to hit the Punisher really, really hard right now. So let's see that. So there's Rocket doing a bunch of damage. There's Groot. Oh, okay. He didn't get a crit, and that actually didn't seem to be that much. That was kind of weird. Call me a liar. So this is actually more important to me. Oh, pardon me. I'm going to stun Luke Cage, and I'm going to finish Punisher with my basic because I have a 7 red star Star-Lord. He's going to heal 11,000, less than 20,000 damage. That's fine. Let's speed this up a little bit. Alright, so pretty much always death proof. So one of two things. Do you want to kill Jessica Jones or Iron Fist? We're going to try to take out Jessica Jones. She has less armor. He's healing. Oh good, he went for Drax. We're going to put up the speed. Boom, Drax is back in business. Alright, I'm sorry Jessica Jones, but alright, so this is a beautiful thing. He's not offense up. Maybe he won't even get a crit. Doesn't really matter. 81,500 damage crit. Drax comes out with just a mundane 17,000 damage kill. Someone else would have taken a third hit, even Mantis. Or unless it was Mantis, we probably didn't need that crit. Anyhow, I want to see if we can slow down Luke Cage. Sweet Christmas. We slowed down Luke Cage successfully. We'll put it 2x for a second. So, do we want to... This is kind of tricky. We might live this. We did not live that. Oh well. Let's do this, just in case he's about to do Super Punch. We finally want the taunt there. We want Groot to die at this point, so I'm not going to do that ultimate. And this is where we're going to see the downfall of Iron Fist. Boom. 16,000. Massive heals going off by Mantis. Let's get another death proof. Yeah, if this was Arena, I might not make it to the time limit. I'm not timing this, but it's taking a while. I think I made one bad decision earlier with Rocket, and perhaps a bad decision targeting down Jessica Jones before that. But what's kind of weird is the reason why I did that is so you avoid Luke Cage having multiple defense ups and taunts. This she must have buffed right before she died or something, because he's having all of his defense ups. Finally, the meaty center that is Luke Cage. And we don't want him to defense up again. Okay, that was about 70,000 damage in total. Peel off, oh jeez, didn't even peel off a Death Proof there. Alright, let's Suicide Groot on Daredevil to get an offense up, and we will finish this match off. Wonderful. So, not the most beautiful match, losing Groot and Rocket there, but you know, it'd be great. So this is what I would do. Every now and then, well, no, that's not, I wouldn't actually change the game like this, but I just wish I could put my 7 red stars from Star-Lord and gift them to Rocket Raccoon instead, and swap, and I'd give Star-Lord his 2 red stars, and why I'd do this is I wouldn't have this crazy hand cannon anymore at the start, unless I got lucky and Rocket was, you know, always the one he was calling up. And his basic wouldn't be able to chain kill folks anymore. That's okay, because he's still going to blind folks just as good. That doesn't change, and the ability power that he gives is just as good. That's not affected by his red stars. So in a way, I'm kind of gypped that it landed here. But if it landed on Rocket, you just poop out his ultimate, and that would be it. It would be like, compared to a normal Rocket, it would be like a Rocket always having offense up. So compared to my Rocket, a 7 red star Rocket would be like my Rocket with an offense up, which pretty much mops the floor. I mean, that's what Rocket does. It's not like mine's special. I'm just saying that's how it works. So it is what it is. I'm just glad that the 7 red stars didn't land on Groot or Drax. Really, I'm happy about that. Very happy about that. So, yeah, let's see. So, that Iron Fist looks terrible. So I think that we're going to go for the more traditional format, getting rid of Iron Fist first, and we'll see if that prevents me from losing my Rocket Raccoon this time. Rescue, huh? Oh, okay, so there was this leak. Cerebral said, I don't know if it was an accident or on purpose, like to put it in the meta for us to guess, but he mentioned 3 new characters offhandedly, just really bizarrely, and it was basically like he's like, yeah, an alternate version of Iron Spider-Man in the Iron Spider-Man suit, basically a Hulkbuster version of Iron Man, and then an alternate version of Thor. And at first everyone started getting, oh, Fat Thor, Fat Thor, Fat Thor, and all this stuff. No, I think that there's a lot of evidence. I probably didn't mean to do that, but whatever, we're just going to proceed. There's a lot of evidence. Ooh, look at that crit. Oh, 120,000 damage in total, and he was gone. There's a lot of evidence that Fox Next has had some pretty good information from inside Marvel, because the characters just, it's too much of a coincidence that the few characters that they choose for this game continually line up for the releases. And now that we know the lineup for Phase 4, one of the announcements in Phase 4 is the Jane Foster Thor. So we have that. That'd be very cool. We know that Spider-Man is going to be around for a while. And we want more versions of Spider-Man in the game to fill out the Spider-Verse team, especially in light of the Sinister Six pulling away Green Goblin. So what are you going to do? One of two things. Ultimately, I would love to see Black Suit Symbiote Spider-Man work its way into the game, and I would love to have a symbiote team of Venom and Carnage and you know special alien costume Spider-Man and all that. But I'd also would like to see a Spider-Man team of Spider-Men and women, and one Spider-Man in particular that would be great for the game would be the the Iron Spider. The thing is, you see that and you go, oh, you're jipping my power suit team. That's a power suit. So to resolve that issue, what you also do is you go, oh, no, don't worry about that. The power suit team, what they really need anyway is a tank. So that's going to be the Hulkbuster suit will be the tank for the Iron for that team. The Iron Spider is made to replace the Green Goblin, and Jane Foster Thor is so that you finally have the skeleton bones of an Asgardian team, and it'll be like a promise into the future. If the game is still around in 2021, um, you know, or maybe now that they have this slated schedule out and they've kind of caught up to the Marvel Cinematic Universes, there's going to be this lapse of time. Maybe they can use that to kind of slowly release these characters that they know are necessarily going to be more popular, and then leave a few for the movie debut. Quite often, we know who the heroes are, because of the title of the film. Generally speaking, you may know who the heroes of the film are much farther in advance than the villains. So there's another possibility that. Ooh, that was lucky. That they could release the villains later. Okay, so this is actually going to be pretty close and dirty. Ooh, she's strong. This might be it. Ooh, that was lucky. Alright, we need a kill shot here or it's over, folks. Boom! And we got it. Look at that. By the skin of our teeth. Teeth have no skin. Alright, so coming to an end, still 100 Blitz charges remaining. We have really just one fight left. So we might as well bring in the showstopper. Showstopper. Eh, eh, eh. Sorry everybody that had to experience that. And I guess what we've been doing is this, right? More recently, this has been my showstopper. So it's just a bunch of high-value red stars up there with legendary characters. And some of the high-level red star, one of the high-level red star happens to also be a legendary character. This team is pretty good. It'll probably... it's pretty good at stamping out Brotherhood teams. Punching across. Punching up, not so sure. This team doesn't seem to have a rhyme or reason. I could probably take this team. Let's go with this team. Looks like fun. Alright. Alright, with luck this will be our last go. So let's start the team off with the sacrificial lambs. And if all goes well, bzz, Oh, no, no. That did not go well at all. That was weird. Okay. Hmm. Okay, let's just shoot everybody. Alright, and resurrection. Too much is going on, can't really see anything. Phoenix, Dark Phoenix power, damage everywhere, regenerations for the kids. A taunting juggernaut. We haven't even powered up the team yet with Nick Fury, by the way, and their team is almost dead. Their Nick Fury just passed out. Dehydration, probably. Too much crap in his pants. And the sight of Dr. Dookie. War Machine's getting ready to do his dirty deed. Is he gonna clear? Uh, I don't think you can blind him. So let's just... Oh, and he's bleeding. That one kinda hurt. This isn't gonna be good. Well... Well, War Machine, you're not as important to kill anymore because you just did the thing that I didn't want you to do. Imagine that. Okay. So, Iron Man, you're dead. And we'll just remove your buff in the most obnoxious way possible, Groot. Your one little buff is gone now. And then you died. Minerva, by the way, if you don't use Minerva, you're not playing the game right. Because alright, so when you're not using Minerva and you don't have Minerva of your own, you don't really maybe know what she's doing, and you may fight her incorrectly. So it's good to know what all of her um, abilities are by having her at least at 6664, and you don't really need any orange mats in her. But she is easily one of the most annoying characters in the game when you're playing against her, and if you do not have her in your own roster. Um, terribly annoying character. And we're likely to see more angsty characters like that. You have this... So Phoenix right now is too strong for Raid, in my opinion, and maybe that's why they're doing Cyclops, because his ultimate will revert her back to Phoenix, but I just made that up. I don't know that for sure. That rumor started here. You heard it here first from Dr. Dookie. Cyclops, when he goes, no, and that's a leak. We know he goes, watch that one more time. Cyclops goes, no, like that, okay? And when he does that, uh, he's supposed to do that when Phoenix dies and comes back as Dark Phoenix. Maybe not. What if that's his ultimate when she is Dark Phoenix and reverts her back to Phoenix? That's what I want to see, but, you know, it's all lies. It's all lies. Okay. So, 35 isn't 25. Who went up in cost? Nick Fury? Oh, yeah. So who do we have for 5 cents? Well, here's the thing. Without all of his superpower, like, he is the team. Is there anyone for free? Could we do a Loki instead of who, though? Oh, it's 2, even. Let's just do it. Well, do we need to? No, we don't need to. We can just wait. All right. So here we are. Look at that. So about 2 hours of gameplay, something like that. And we're able to climb our way through the cash grab. I don't have, oddly enough, I do not have Night Nurse maxed out or even at 6 stars, so I'm digging the free 21 shards I just got. And when I get ranked, I can't wait to get the additional 35 for a total of 56, which, by the way, correlates to a 2-star unlock. Yeah, I'm happy with that because it's Night Nurse. That's not a good way to make me happy about not reaching into this bracket ever, though, Fox Next. The better way would be to make this, you know, 0.5%, 1 to 2%, you know, 0.2%, maybe 0.2 to 0.5, you know, 1%, 1 to 2%, and then change this to 2 to 10. I don't know, just something. Anyway, yeah. Thanks for watching the Dookie stream. What is this? Oh, we lost our war. Oh, that's sad. I was MVP though. Oh man, I did terrible. That's not a lot of points for being an MVP. Oh. Oh no, that's our war. That's our final war score. Never mind. Well, on that note, thanks, Nick Fury. On that note, thanks for watching another Dookie stream live, and look forward to another up-and-coming Dookie stream. Hopefully I'll be here for the next Blitz event. I think that's the Vulture Blitz, which I have no intent of trying to get in the top 1500, but you will watch me battle my way up to at least, you know, to get the cash grab. So I'll probably end at around 800,000 points or whatever. Thanks for tuning in, and yeah, tune in again. Subscribe to my channel. Please give me a like if you like my conspiracy theories and you'd like to hear more. If you hope Fox Next is listening and you'd like some of my ideas of the game. Anyhow, thanks again, and Dr. Dookie will leave you here with, remember, always drop a deuce on your enemies.